Doctor Strange let Tony Stark die on purpose for the safety of the world. While it is widely accepted that Tony's death was the only way to defeat Thanos, a haunting new theory suggests Strange saw futures where the designer of death himself became a liability after the war. Faced with a massive trolley problem, Strange may have decided that the best outcome for the Earth's long-term survival was to eliminate both Thanos and Tony in a single conflict. Strange's practical, callous nature as a doctor allowed him to make the hard choice, ensuring the Avengers could exist in an intact form without the risk of a post-war Stark committing a future atrocity. By accelerating Thanos' timeline, Strange ensured that Tony was spared just long enough to perform the ultimate sacrifice, effectively acting as a cosmic surgeon, cutting out a dangerous element. Nebula will be the one to use the Infinity Gauntlet. This theory is pulled straight from the 1991 Infinity Gauntlet comic, where Nebula successfully snatched the glove and reversed her father's universal genocide. Since she was one of the remaining 50% who survived the snap, fans believe her survival must have a major narrative purpose beyond just being a prisoner. The theory suggests she will come full circle, moving from a discarded android daughter to the ultimate hero who avenges her sister Gamora. However, the comic version of this reversal also opened up a whole host of new cosmic issues, meaning her victory might accidentally unleash even greater villains for Phase 4. The Avengers will build their own second Infinity Gauntlet. And since the snap left the original gauntlet and the stones in a fractured, smoking heap of junk, the surviving team will likely need their own tech to undo the damage. This theory speculates that the Avengers will travel back in time to collect the stones before having Eitri, the King Dwarf, craft a brand new Stark Enterprise gauntlet. Peter Dinklage's reported contract for 2 MCU films supports the idea that the team will return to Nidavellir for this high-tech upgrade. This new gauntlet would be Tony Stark's final masterpiece, designed to house all 6 stones for a single desperate shot at bringing everyone back. Shuri is the new Black Panther. After T'Challa turned to dust, a massive power vacuum was left in Wakanda, and many believe Shuri will step up to honor her brother's legacy. Even though she appears on the missing list in trailers, theorists argue she is simply in hiding, using her genius to develop the suits needed to navigate the quantum realm. Seeing her move from the science lab to the battlefield in her own Black Panther costume would provide the team with a necessary tactical leader during their darkest hour. Her role would likely be a temporary handing over of the reins until T'Challa is resurrected, but it would cement her as a major global player. There is a greater threat than Thanos lurking in the cosmos. This theory grew from toy leaks that mentioned the team coming against an even greater threat than the Mad Titan himself. Some fans point to the planet devouring Galactus, suggesting that the snap may have recharged the universe in a way that attracts an even more dangerous cosmic entity. This would force a reluctant alliance between the Avengers and Thanos, who might team up just to save his precious space farm from being consumed. If Galactus enters the narrative, it would flip the entire power hierarchy of the MCU, making Thanos' mission look like a mere warm-up act. At least 2 of the original 6 Avengers will die. With the contracts of Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans coming to a close, fans have long theorized that both Iron Man and Captain America will meet their demise. This is supported by an interview where the Russo brothers reportedly confirmed that only 2 of the original 6 members would survive the finale. Since both characters have definitively finished their respective arcs, their deaths would serve as a fitting end to the greatest era of film history. It would be the ultimate emotional gut punch, clearing the stage for a new generation of heroes like Spider-Man and Captain Marvel. Steve Rogers will return to 1945 for his final dance. If Captain America survives the final battle, an equally meaningful end to his arc would be using the time travel device to return to his original era. This theory suggests he will finally get the dance he promised Peggy Carter, living out his life in the shadows as her husband. This would allow him to finally experience a life of peace after being a soldier for nearly a century. While this could cause a massive time paradox, fans believe he might have found a loophole that allows him to exist in the sacred timeline without alerting the TVA. By the way, if you guys like movie content like this, I would really appreciate it if you could subscribe. Thanks. The Illuminati will be formed to protect the Infinity Stones. In the comics, this covert think tank composed of the world's greatest minds was formed to identify and target worldwide threats before they happen. This theory suggests that after defeating Thanos, the geniuses of the MCU, including Tony, Bruce, and Doctor Strange, will divide the stones among themselves. Each member would keep their stone hidden, even from the others, to ensure no single being can ever wield the full power of the gauntlet again. again. This would turn the world's smartest individuals into a secret watch, designed to keep the universe safe from any future wannabe villains. The snap didn't kill anyone but split the universe into two parallel Earths. This Avengers of Two Worlds theory posits that the victims of the snap were actually transported to an equal, parallel universe. This would solve Thanos' overpopulation problem by giving each group an equal amount of resources without actually committing mass murder. The quantum realm would then serve as a metaphysical bridge, allowing the heroes to navigate between these two realities and find a way to reunite them. It would give Thanos' actions a shred of logic, showing that he viewed himself as a savior who created a utopian multiverse rather than a simple killer. The dusted heroes are trapped in the Soul World. After the snap, Thanos found himself in an orangey place with young Gamora, which fans believe is the Soul World housed within the Soul Stone. This theory suggests that none of the dusted individuals are actually dead, but their souls are merely being preserved in a separate plane of existence. If the Avengers can reclaim the Soul Stone, they might find they don't need the other 5 stones to bring everyone back. It turns the final mission into a cosmic rescue operation to unlock the souls trapped inside the stone's hidden world. A post-credits scene will introduce mutants or the X-Men. Some believe that after Thanos is defeated, Tony Stark will ask Doctor Strange if everything is back to normal, only for Strange to hint that things have bled through the multiverse. This would lead to a pan-up showing a gate with an emblazoned X as a man smoking a cigar drives in on a Harley. Since save-the-world scenarios often involve reality-bending stakes, fans think the snap's reversal will be the catalyst that merges the mutant and MCU worlds. It would be the ultimate mic drop ending to a decade of storytelling. Each Professor Hulk is a result of Banner merging his psyches. After the constant disagreement between the Hulk and Bruce Banner personalities, fans expect them to finally put their differences aside to exist as one being. This Professor Hulk variant would have the body and strength of the Hulk, but the talking, brilliant mind of Bruce Banner. Some speculate this happens because Banner determines how to trigger the physical mutation without summoning the savage psyche that refused to come out against Thanos. However, if this version fails, it might serve as the motivator for the true Savage Hulk to take complete control one last time. Time travel via the quantum realm is the key. Many fans believe the movie will focus on a time heist where the surviving Avengers travel back to revisit scenes from previous films. Now, this theory is backed by set photos of the original 2012 New York battle and the establishment of time vortices within the quantum realm. By retrieving the Infinity Stones from the past before Thanos can collect them, the team can effectively undo the snap. This mission allows the film to honor the MCU's legacy by having the current heroes interact with their past selves in a way that is a lot of fun. Thanos will die in the first 20 minutes of the movie. In a shocking twist, the remaining Avengers will track down a weakened Thanos, only to find he has already destroyed the stones. Thor will finally aim for the head and decapitate the Mad Titan before the opening title card even appears. This leaves the heroes with a useless win and forces a time jump where they must wallow in self-pity for several years. The real conflict then becomes a race through time to find an alternative way to bring everyone back, rather than just another brawl with Thanos. Captain America will wield Thor's hammer. The electric Captain America is a moment fans have been waiting for since Cap slightly moved Mjolnir in Age of Ultron. This theory claims that during the final battle when Thor is about to be killed, that Cap will summon the hammer to his hand to save him. This moment would be earned by Steve's status as a man of sheer resolve and moral purity who gets up when it is hopeless. Seeing Cap with the shield and Mjolnir would be the ultimate proof that he was always worthy of the power of a god. Sam Wilson will become the new Captain America. With Steve Rogers expected to exit the franchise, fans believe the mantle will be passed on to Sam Wilson, aka Falcon. While Bucky Barnes was also a candidate, Sam's background as a loyal partner and his leadership potential make him the perfect pick for a new era. This would allow the legend of Captain America to live on through a different perspective, forming the basis for a new Avengers team. It's a passing of the torch that ensures the symbol of the shield remains relevant for Phase 4. Pepper Potts will finally suit up in her own armor. This theory suggests that the woman who has killed more Marvel villains than almost any other character will not sit out the final battle. She is expected to appear in her own rescue armor, potentially following a design Tony created specifically for her safety. This would allow for a badass moment, featuring all the powerful women of Marvel fighting together on the front lines. Her emergence as a hero would be the ultimate payoff for a character who has been a staple of the universe since the very first Iron Man. The Annihilation title was hidden in a Russo brothers set photo. Fans spent weeks analyzing a seemingly innocent behind-the-scenes photo that was staged to look like the letters A and E. Now, this led to a massive internet dust storm where the title Avengers Annihilation was considered a confirmed reality. While the actual title was revealed to be Endgame, the Look Hard photo remains one of the most most famous examples of meta-teasing in the MCU. It perfectly illustrates how the directors use misdirection to keep the hype train moving at full speed. The Infinity Stones themselves are the real, greater threat. This theory argues that, even if Thanos is defeated, the united power of the stones remains a permanent danger to reality. Because the stones were unite for the first time in history, they have now become a sentient threat that will constantly be hunted by future villains. The real mission is not just killing Thanos, but deciding the fate of the stones so they can never be claimed by another wannabe superhuman. Some believe the stones will eventually choose their own masters, mirroring the Infinity Watch storyline from the comics. Ant-Man survived because the quantum realm is a snap-proof zone. Since Scott Lang was hidden away in the subatomic plane during the snap, he may have been outside the range of the Infinity Stone's influence. This makes him the ultimate pawn and the only character with the knowledge to navigate the quantum safe zone to undo the decimation. Because he is both the smallest character and an anomaly in the timeline, he serves as the perfect audience surrogate to explain the devastation. Without his ability to traverse the realm, there would be no Phase 4, as he is the conduit for the entire time travel plan. Tony Stark's consciousness will live on as an AI, even if Robert Downey Jr. leaves the physical MCU. One theory suggests Tony will stick around as a digital mentor for Peter Parker. Much like Jarvis, Tony could record his voice and psyche into the Spider-Man suit, acting as a permanent assistant for the next generation of heroes. This would allow Tony to continue guiding his proteges from the afterlife, while keeping the Stark brand active in a more manageable way. It turns Tony's death into a digital rebirth, ensuring the heart of the Avengers never truly stops beating.